What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we're going to be playing a game called Her Story, which is basically a game about a woman getting interviewed by the police, I believe 7 times, in a murder case of her husband. So basically it's got 7 interviews from 1994 in which a British woman is interviewed about her missing husband. We have to explore the database and kind of basically piece together her story. So I mean, it's a very interesting kind of game. Like, I know we play LSPD 4 a lot, where we actually like make the we actually just arrest them and that's all we do. But this is kind of more of like an in-depth of what like the detectives and like officers down at the station would do, kind of like interrogations and whatnot. So basically that's what we're gonna go with today. I apologize if the game audio is a little bit low. It's very loud on my end and I didn't want it to overrun my voice. So let's go ahead and hit start on this. This game was made in 2015, so it's not a newer game. It was couple years old, but it still looked very interesting. It's only $6 on Steam, so if you guys want to pick it up, it's called Her Story. Alright. So we can search like murder and... Okay, so they just put us right into this. And they really want us to read these. Okay, so introduction to the logic database. Computer technology is the backbone of the modern police work. The logic database is one of the many continuing efforts to digitize our workflow and preserve evidence in a manner which will allow you to work more efficiently. In the coming years, the computer will continue to be most valuable item in your crime-fighting toolkit. This database contains footage transferred from the existing homicide and serious crime tape archive in Portsmouth. It has been automatically sorted using our ASR technology. Each statement made by the interview participants is stored separately so they can be tagged for submission to the court. The audio has been digitally stenographed and the content of the testimony is attached to each clip. To retrieve a clip, type in a word, example robbery, into the search field, click search, and the database will return all clips in which the speaker uses that word. To narrow a search, use multiple words like robbery, supermarket. If you're working from a printed transcript, you can be even more precise. Use inverted commas to search for exact match against the entire statement. To store a clip for later reference, click add to session. Also, if you blah 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 blah. Damn. Okay, so what's this one? Yeah, everything seems to work. Transfer the videos of the original tapes in 1999. Okay. So I guess we'll do murder. So we have 4 videos there. 0. Okay. So I guess they kind of put us like right into this game. There's like no backstory or nothing. You just kind of put you right into it. So we'll just kind of go watch these clips. It's 11 seconds long.
You think it's murder? Clearly it's murder. What can I do to help?
Okay. It's 12 seconds.
Yeah, that's me. But February, that was months ago. What's that got to do with Simon's murder? I didn't murder Simon. You've got it wrong. You've got the wrong person. I'd like to speak to a lawyer now. Please. You have no murder weapon. You have nothing. And all these stories we've been telling each other, just that. Stories.
Alright, so very interesting. I mean, it's kind of hard to tell with like less than 30-second clips, but I'm not really 100% sure what I'm supposed to be doing, like murder, weapon, stuff like that. I guess I just type in random like things until I figure out what it is, but it said she was interviewed 7 times, so I'm trying to figure out like what I'm supposed to be doing. Like in this one, she said there's no murder weapon, so it's kind of like, Yeah, I don't really know. I really don't know. Just kind of a weird game from the start. So I mean, anything in the hack info and mirror games. So really nothing. Well, let's try typing in. I completely spelled that wrong. Right, here's a new one.
I haven't been into work. I guess I've just been waiting to hear from you, hear from my husband.
So she's been waiting to hear from us and her husband, which her husband's dead, so I don't understand how she could be waiting to hear from her husband. But
When you suspect someone of murdering my husband.
interesting.
She's crying, I guess. She's sad because she thought she saw her husband with another. But it's okay, because she finds out it wasn't her husband, it was his brother. And so it's fine.
Okay, that's okay. That one's kind of interesting. We have another one here. Let's actually do the red shirt one first.
I thought it made me sound suspicious. It's not a normal thing to do, to drive to the other end of the country. I wanted to keep it simple. I knew it was stupid not to tell you everything. Saying I spent the night in Glasgow when my husband went missing, I thought it would, distract you from what was important. It's different now.
So she basically, from what I can concur from that video, she lied to the police saying, or she didn't really lie. She kind of lied saying she was gone that night, but then she also didn't give him the full story, which to me adds to my kind of suspicion that she is the murder suspect. But it's kind of hard to tell.
It was supposed to be a secret. Just because Simon is dead doesn't mean I have to give up all his secrets. It doesn't have anything to do with what happened to Simon. No one murdered my husband because he cheated his expenses for a romantic weekend in Oxford.
So basically the story I'm kind of getting from this game, from what I've been watching the clips recently, is that the female in the videos is basically assuming that her husband was cheating on her on a romantic weekend out in Oxford, as you heard in the last clip. But then the female in question was in another city called Glasgow that weekend, so I don't know if it's that same weekend or a different weekend, I couldn't really tell you. But that's the only thing I can concur from it. She thought she saw her husband with another female, but then it turned out to be the guy, her husband's brother, is what I'm kind of concurring from it, but I'm not 100% sure if that's legit or not. This is a very weird. How do you scroll over? Because that's definitely not 7. Access limited to the first 5 entries. Okay. That's kind of interesting. Very, very interesting. We've already seen that one, so I'm trying to think of how this could work. Like, I don't even know what else. I'm trying to see if we can maybe. There we go. So let's watch these red shirt clips. These look like they're taken from the same day. So let's try to concur what other evidence we can concur from these.
So I got in the car and I drove. I just kept driving north. Just kept going, just wanted to get as far away as I could. When I finally stopped, I was all the way up in Glasgow. I was so tired. Just had to sleep.
Okay, so she basically drove up all the way over there on her own. Let's play this one.
Yes. I got to Glasgow, I was exhausted, so I pulled over and slept in the car. I woke up because a rubbish truck went past. I got some petrol, bought a coffee and a pastry, tried calling someone from a payphone, and headed back.
Okay, so what I kind of confer about that video is that she phoned her husband that night she went to Glasgow, and he didn't pick up, so she decided to go back home. Interesting.
Yeah, that's Simon's watch. It was a gift from Eric. He got it this year. It was a wedding anniversary gift. Steel. It would have been Diane who chose it. She has really nice taste. That time, you must eliminate me. I was in Glasgow then.
Interesting. Well, I mean, just because the time on the watch means when she was in Glasgow, that probably means when they found him, not whenever she was out. So that doesn't really mean much.
No, I don't think so. Glasgow was deserted that early in the morning.
Now she's saying that there was no one in Glasgow, so no one probably saw her.
When I arrived in Glasgow, I was exhausted. The streets were empty. I was driving badly. And I hit a taxi. Not a big crash, just paintwork. The guy was so pissed off because I didn't have a driving license on me. And I told him I was pregnant. He made sure I got to the hospital so they could check me out. It was fine. The hospital must have details when I was looked at. There's a scratch on the car.
Interesting. So now we kind of learned that she drove all the way to Glasgow and back without a license. And while in Glasgow, she got into a little 1050, which is a wreck, or a motor vehicle accident. And let's try to see if there's anything. Hospital. Let's see if there's anything about there. Yep, there's two right here.
Ask the hospital.
To ask the hospital, I'm not really sure what hospital she's referring to.
I don't see how it's hard. We've established I was in Glasgow and was killed. We've spoken with the hospital.
Interesting. So let's go to Oxford.
There was a conference, something to do with double glazing. In Oxford?
So I guess he was at a conference or something, is what I'm trying to concur from that video.
Are you sure? What would he be doing in Oxford if there was no conference? I remember calling him. He said it was boring and he spent most of the time at the bar.
So now there's no conference, so he probably just went there and decided he wanted to cheat on her. Let's see. There we go. There's some more. Jeez, this is going to be a lot of freaking video. I can tell you that much.
Eric was like an uncle to him. They were pretty close. They spend a lot of time with each other, especially when they have to go to conferences. Have you met his wife, Diane?
Interesting. So they go to conferences together when there's no conferences, so they could both be cheating on their wives. I feel like I'm getting more from when she's wearing the red shirt. So we're going to watch these first and see if we can gain any info.
He would go to the pub. He had his drinking buddies there, but no one ever really came back to the house. Sometimes Eric, his boss, and his wife would come in for dinner. That would be us returning the favour. Diane is a really good cook, into her trendy ingredients. And the last time Simon cooked something off MasterChef, he got the recipe off Ceefax, and I did my Lloyd Grossman bit, commenting from the sidelines. I had to find fennel from the supermarket. Have you ever eaten fennel?
Okay, I mean, that I really got nothing from. I'm not sure what fennel is, but it looks like I gained an achievement from that. So...
You're reaching here, and I don't know why. No, I've never cheated on anyone. I've never taken anything from anyone. Simon's dead. But I have my baby to kill. Why are you trying to make me sad? Why are you so obsessed with sex and affairs?
Because...
You cheated on your wife. Is this your thing?
So she's trying to turn it back around on the officer.
Why did your wife kill her? She didn't kill you. You think I killed Simon because he was having an affair? Well, I didn't kill him. I wasn't even there. I was in Glasgow worrying about whether my baby was still growing inside me. I mean, why would I kill Simon? I loved him.
Interesting.
Well, she has a knife. She's been cooking, I guess. She's been cooking him his favourite meal. She's his wife. He's asleep and she doesn't want to wake him because he's ill. That's why she's sad. Because he's ill. He might die. It's kind of a sad story, so I'm not sure.
Interesting. So I'm not sure if she's referring to her and her husband or the brother and his wife. This is very interesting. Let's try Oxford. I think I already did this one. Yeah, I did do that one. Interesting. Okay, so what I'm kind of getting at from watching these clips and everything is that her husband was going on a supposedly business trip up to Oxford with his buddy Eric, who apparently also tags along on these business trips, or conference is what it was, conference. But there was no conference going on up there. He said that he was kind of bored at the bar. Apparently there was no conference up there from what the police said. So the weekend he went missing, she was up in Glasgow, got into a little motor vehicle accident with a taxi driver, and she was taken to the hospital, and apparently I don't have any hospital records going on about this murder case, so we really have no proof that she was actually in Glasgow. But that's the only thing I can confer right now, is that her story, it's making sense because she keeps sticking to going to Glasgow, but I don't see any hospital records. If only there was something else I could go to besides... what does this do? This doesn't do really much. Okay. So if only there was something else I could go to besides, whatchamacallit, Glasgow. If only there was, like, I can look at the hospital, database and see if there's anything I can look in there. Let's actually close the logic session. Oh, that just quits it. Okay. Well, never mind. Never mind. So that just ends the game. Okay. Okay, so there's no search terms here, so let's see what these videos come up.
Black coffee, thanks. No sugar. Sweet enough as it is.
Okay, so black coffee. I realized I forgot to be doing this whenever I was doing this, so this must be like the start of an interview. They're asking her if she wants anything to drink or whatever.
My name is Hannah. H-A-N-N-A-H. It's Andre. It reads the same backwards as forwards. It doesn't work from America, it's not quite symmetrical, but well, we get this thing. Sorry. Hannah Smith. I live at 31 Gladstone Street.
Alright. "31 Gladstone Street. What do we got here?
Simon Smith. He works at Ernst Brothers Glass. They do windows, all kinds of glass. Simon does the more special work. Mirror making, feature windows, artistic things. Really beautiful things.
Okay. Smith. Glass. Okay. What do we got for this one?
Nothing. Yeah. Well, they have one for the glaziers, but it's only for work.
Interesting. So she doesn't remember her husband's phone number.
I saw it plugged into its charging cradle.
Okay. Cell phone. Don't remember number. Interesting.
Simon is 6 foot, darkish blonde hair, average build. He's clean shaven. If his beard grows, it goes ginger, so he shaves it. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with ginger hair. I bought a photo. They said a spring photo. This was taken last year on holiday on Rome. It's best for my hair.
Interesting. So, description of Simon. I love how they have like generic names for this. Simon Smith. Let's actually type in Simon and see if any videos come up. Okay, so I got 3.
It's the Rockington Arms, the Rock. It's run by a nice couple, Peter and Susan. There's some other regulars there that some nice to drink with. And the barman that have it sometimes. Peter said Simon had been in and had a few drinks.
Alright. Simon had few drinks. Okay, so let's try this one, see what we can get out of it.
Yes, there's an abstract one. No one uses it very much. There's a printer so you can write letters on it. Simon sometimes plays games. And Save the Princess.
Okay, so we'll just name that one Games. Let's try this one.
Simon isn't the type to run off or do anything crazy. Someone must have done something. There must have been some kind of accident. Someone did most.
Interesting. Interesting, so now she's kind of saying it's on somebody else. Let's try searching Eric and see if we can find anything about him. Perfect.
He was wearing a shirt, a blue turtleneck shirt, and jeans. He has a watch. It's a really nice one. That was a gift from his boss, Eric. Had his coat, a long grey duffel coat, black tabs there. He would have taken that with him. It's not in the house.
Interesting, so this was probably murder in Oxford. So, description, clothing. Alright, 42 seconds.
So, it's Friday evening. We had an argument. He left. On Saturday, he didn't come back. I waited all day. He was supposed to go help Eric out with something on Saturday afternoon. He didn't show up. So Eric was ringing on the phone. I checked at the Rock. That's our local. They said they'd seen him on the Friday night, but not since. The store was back this morning. Just isn't like him at all. Still not back by dinner time. It's getting dark again. So I decided to come see you.
Interesting, so he ran away after a fight. Fight gone for 3 days. Or gone for 2 days basically, Saturday, Sunday. God damn it. So no one's heard anything about this. So he ran away on a Friday night after an argument with him and his wife, and no one's heard from him since. So this is kind of not adding up right now with me, unless this is a completely different situation. Because she told me that she was in Glasgow and then Oxford. Now she's saying she was home when he ran away. So it's kind of not making any sense to me.
Yes, there's a car that we share, a Cavalier, and a van he uses for work. It's owned by Eric, but we look after it. Both of them are there now, parked in the street. I'm not sure about the keys for the van. Can you look at that?
Interesting. Shared car, Cavalier, and work owned by Eric. Interesting.
Yes, that would be in his wallet. It's a Visa, a silver one. He doesn't like to spend money he doesn't have, so he usually pays with cash. But he gets to do that.
Interesting. Interesting. Alright, so let's see if there's anything about like a credit card or something that we can. Here we go.
He has a wallet, a huge silly thing, leather, real leather, I think. He packs it full of stuff, business cards, receipts, lottery tickets. He always carries it in his back pocket. I think that's why he's got a bag bag. It's the discs. I haven't seen it, so he must have it on him. He always takes it out of his back pocket before when he comes in.
Interesting. So that wallet always, that pocket not at. So this must have been before he got murdered, because the red in this shirt, this was after he got murdered.
Did I pass? Sorry, I messed it up with all that Rapunzel stuff. Do you need me to do that card again?
I'm not sure. Not 100% sure what that's about, but I'm not gonna worry about it because she's asking did she pass. Interesting. Boss.
Okay. I parked up on the street. It was busy, so I parked down at the end of the road. I walked up to the house. I knocked on the door. No answer. I took my keys out of my bag, unlocked the door. The main lock was unlocked. I could tell because the key wouldn't turn when I tried to turn it to the left. I walked in. Simon's coat wasn't on the peg. I couldn't see his shoes on the shoe rack. I shouted out for him. I walked straight into the kitchen. He usually sits in there to have a cup of tea and read his paper. He wasn't there. I touched the kettle. It was cold. I looked quickly into the living room. Nothing. I walked upstairs to the bedroom. He wasn't there. I didn't search for him because it was pretty clear he wasn't there. And then I had a shower. Whilst I was in the shower, the phone rang. I think it was Eric, his boss. I didn't answer it. Then I came out and I was just exhausted. So I lay down on the bed and I fell asleep, but I didn't mean to. I woke up a couple of hours later and I was surprised to see no one in the bed next to me. And then I remembered where I was and what had happened. That's when Eric called again. I spoke to him. Then I called Simon's parents. And then I decided to come and see you. That enough?
Okay, so this is still the weekend when he went missing. So apparently she came home and stuff and she didn't see him or anything, no signs that he was even there. So I'm still on the fence about trying to figure out what's going on piece by piece. This is kind of a weird game. You kind of have to go piece by piece, try to figure out what's going on and everything. That's still one thing about it that I actually like. It's a piece-by-piece game. But the only thing I don't like is that you have access limited to the first 5 entries, so you can't like scroll or anything because there's 63 clips found for Simon. And let's try Simon Murder. Yep, we already got those. Murder weapon. Nothing. Knife. There's one.
Mother wanted me to grow my hair long, but I kept cutting it myself. I wanted to look like my reflection. She always had short hair when she was little. Mother would hide the scissors, but I would find a way. Cut it with a bread knife, something like that. My reflection would always leave her house and go on adventures, but I never could. Mother taught me at home, and I had books and TV. TV was magical, but it was only on when it wanted to be, so I spent a lot of time reading books.
Now, I noticed in that video, she was kind of trying to avoid eye contact with whoever she was interviewing with, which kind of adds on the fence that she might have done it, but it's still too early to tell. Like, there's some evidence here. When she's in that red top, you can easily tell that it's kind of her by reading her body language and what she's saying and stuff like that. So, but we're not going to make any assumptions just yet. No, that's supposed to say TV. There we go. Let's see if these tags actually work. Interesting. So there's 2 more videos here, so we'll see.
No, he doesn't have any tattoos. He has a scar down here near his stomach. Past his hip. Cut himself with some gloves. That was before. He looks just like the photo. He's not got his glasses on here though. He takes them off with the camera. But he needs them to see properly. You know, he needs to read a newspaper or a menu in a restaurant. Not book so much, or watching TV.
Interesting. So he needs his glasses for reading a newspaper, but he doesn't need them for reading a book. That's kind of interesting. I really don't know what to say to that one. I really don't.
Yes, I read a lot as a child and watched lots of TV. Then the doll's house we had, we still have in the attic. It's kind of a fairy castle. We used to play up there and make up our own stories.
Okay, early life, basically. So I feel like what we have so far is that her husband went missing one weekend, and basically a conference, of some sort of conference was going on. Turns out there was no conference, so him and his boss Eric went, and then apparently that was the weekend he went missing, or it was before the weekend he went missing, or something along those lines. It's still very unclear to me about it. But then she went to Glasgow, and he was missing, apparently murdered during when she was there, but we have no hospital records or anything. So I really don't know. We're just kind of going to keep getting into this and kind of seeing if we can figure out what's going on and whatnot. So
Okay. I've given blood before. Do you need to take that for your records?
okay, so that's really not needed. But yeah, guys, that's going to go and do it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed her story. Let me know if you guys want to see more of this game. It's a pretty interesting game, like I gotta say. I thought it was going to be something a little bit different, but literally you're just kind of sitting here watching clips. You're trying to piece by piece a story together, which I think is very, very cool. It's different, if I say so myself. It's not something we normally play. Like I said, this game came out in 2015 or 2015 or so it's not the newest game, but it's still a pretty fun game. Make sure you guys hit that like button on your way out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Drop a comment down below. Let me know if you guys want to see some more of this game or not. If you guys want to pick it up, I'll probably have a link to it in the description if Steam will give me a link. Sometimes it doesn't, so it kind of depends. But yeah, guys, that's going to go and do it. Take care. I'll catch y'all later.